Okay, so Newcastle United last night held a We Are United supporter event at St James Park. It was took place in the Bonker Suite. It was limited room only. I was lucky enough to get a video link pass to the event, which went on for 2 hours, and yeah, there was nothing off the table in terms of questions. I think if you look back on the evening, Eddie Howe, Dan Ashworth, Peter Silverstone, Darren Eales, Becky Langley were all on stage, and they answered any questions that came their way. And I think it was really significant that the majority of the questions that came the way to sort of the executive team were about ticketing and about wanting to get back into St James's Park. I thought that was the big sort of plus point for Newcastle fans, that there was at least a bit of explanation on that. And firstly, the big one, the stadium. Do Newcastle United expand the stadium? Obviously the bigger question, do they move to a new stadium? Which obviously I know that one isn't a popular choice, but how do Newcastle United maximise the support levels they've got moving forward? Because the stadium was last expanded in 2000, which took it up to 52,300 approximately. So the way Newcastle United are going to deal with this is it's all part of this feasibility survey, which is going to be taking a real look at what they can and can't do at St James Park. Can they increase the capacity? Is there another way of getting around this? Would it take a complete rebuild of the stadium? We all are operating off, either old research or, I guess, myths, if you like, about what can and can't be done at St James Park. Something which Darren Eales, pinpointed last night. He said, everyone's a kind of amateur architect, really, including himself. He says sometimes he gets swept away with it. Obviously, we know the problems with the East Stand and the listed buildings behind it. There's always been talk about not being able to increase the Gallagher end because of the metro system that runs beneath it. And pretty much everywhere else you look at the stadium is just completely, those seats up in level 7, you couldn't probably go any further. So much has been said down the years about increasing the capacity at St James's Park. They're now going to get to the bottom of exactly what they can do. But the good thing I thought last night was they're going to make sure that every fan gets one of these feasibility things. They're going to be able to get a good idea of exactly how many people do want a season ticket. There was talk about a season ticket waiting list back in the day. That I always used to hear people say there's 20,000 people want season tickets, and that was quite believable, and hence why Newcastle went from being 36,000 to 52,300, was to accommodate those supporters. So we're going to see, the outcome of that. It was good to see the questions that were put from fans to Darren Eales, and he didn't shirk any question. There was nothing off the table. There was talk about the ballot, which Newcastle changed. I don't know at what point of the takeover, but it changed from being first come, first served to a ballot, which, some people have said that they've had no luck with that. They can't get a ticket. Some people have said they've had good success with it as well, but it's one of them where when the stadium is completely oversubscribed, it's almost how do you dish out the remaining few tickets for the big games? So much was discussed on that. I thought it was good to hear Peter Silverstone talking about Adidas coming in. That starts in June. Newcastle United have got a great range of kits that they're going to be able to introduce. There's a lot of talk about retro kits coming in, which I think will excite a lot of supporters. I know loads of fans who've either still got the Adidas kits from 95, 96 and beyond, or people who have been trying to get them on eBay but apparently a brand new range is going to be available soon. So that's going to be really intriguing, exciting to see as fans. The other big point for me was that Newcastle will sort of seize control again of the club shops, something that they lost during the Mike Ashley era. The supporters saw the club shops go into the hands of Castore, and I've heard different things from fans. I've heard different things about the satisfaction levels of fans who've had the sort of Castore experience. Some fans like them. Even Peter Silverstone himself going on the record earlier this year saying, that they've been good partners. So look, that's by the by, because Adidas are coming in. There's going to be a new range of club shops. Newcastle are going to now be looking after the warehousing, the distribution, all those things. So that's something that fans can really be excited about. That was something else that emerged from last night's fan event. Eddie Howe on stage as well, talking about recruitment, talking about how he's never had any problems luring a player his way. Despite talk about it being difficult to get players to sign from Europe or from London, Eddie Howe said he's never had that problem. He loves the area himself, loves taking in the local scenery when he gets a little bit of time off between games and training. So that was all positive stuff. Dan Ashworth as well, discussing training ground options. How Newcastle have put a lot of money into 3 sites, obviously not just the men's sort of training ground, the women's training ground, the academy as well. So lots of different things going on. I think apparently there's now 10 departments across St James's Park. Staff levels have just swelled and swelled since the takeover. It really does feel like a club on the up. It has to be said that some people weren't satisfied with some of the aspects of things, but Newcastle very open to look to address some of these situations. The big message probably for fans is that there's going to be a fan advisory board which gets elected sometime in February. There's going to be details on that on the website on Friday. So lots of stuff to communicate there. There's a few articles on Chronicle Live, so please jump on and have a look. I'll try and share some of the links beneath this video as well. But thanks for watching for now. Press conference tomorrow at the training ground ahead of the Chelsea game. So we get to find out the injury situation from Eddie Howe. And domestic football's back. Big lead up to Christmas now. Lots of games to come. And Newcastle United can really define the season in the next few weeks.